What's up, everybody? So for today's video, we're going to be checking out Legend of Zelda movie, Beyond Spider-Verse update, first look, Ghostbusters, and more. So, you already know the deal with this. We watching 3C Films. He's going to explain to us a whole bunch of movie updates. You already know. We've seen this before. We reacted to this shit before. So let's just get started with this shit. Ready? Let's get started with this fucking 3C Films video. So, yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom.
Hello, my wonderful and beautiful movie peeps. I think we got movie news to discuss. Been kind of a slow week, but I have finally found enough news for us to talk about here today on SideFlix. Some of the things we're going to be discussing is, for one, Zelda getting finalized for an actual movie, because I'm still on the high from Across the Spider-Verse, talking about some recent updates with Beyond the Spider-Verse, along with what looks like our first poster for the upcoming Ghostbusters sequel. Really, that along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave me your opinions down below. Timestamps will be in the description. But before we get into that, I want to thank today's sponsor, and that's Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access is a VPN that allows you to hide your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. Some of you from time to time might go to a restaurant, mall, cafe that offers free public Wi-Fi. And in situations like this, you put yourself vulnerable for hackers to get into your private information. But with Private Internet Access, you can use these public Wi-Fi locations and feel safe and secure. I personally like to use it not only to browse the internet news here. Now I'm gonna do things a little differently because I want to talk some video games. Summer Game Fest 2023 just happened, where they gave us a sneak peek to some upcoming video games, even some TV shows based off video games, like the upcoming Twisted Metal series with Anthony Mackie. Looks fantastic.
Like it when the beat go? Baby, let your booty go.
I'm delusional, okay? I want it to be good, but oh my god, what was that? But the thing I mainly wanted to talk about here is a couple of more details involved with Spider-Man 2, so forgive me for geeking out. For one, they gave us the official box art with Miles and Peter right next to each other. They look fantastic. I like how Peter has the symbiote crawling up his arm, and Miles is about to do one of his electric punches. Getting a look at that pre-order bundle, I'm gonna have to do it. Even though the skins on the suits look terrible, I need that statue with Miles and Peter versus this Venom. But there was also some other first looks of the game we hadn't gotten before, like of Kraven the Hunter in New York City with Peter and Miles in the background. Really excited to see how they handle Kraven the Hunter in this game. But the most exciting photo is our first look here of Venom, that'll be voiced by Candyman himself, Tony Todd. And while you're staring at this glorious photo, they did reveal the detail that Venom in here will not be Eddie Brock, that the team has created a brand new original story not based on the comics, and it's a surprise on who Venom is. You'll have to play the game to find out. Now, people who did play the original game might think, oh, it's obviously Harry Osborn. That was kind of like the ending tease of that first game. But I don't think it is going to be Harry, because Harry is dying of a disease. So I think the symbiote is actually rejecting him. And that's why Harry Osborn is desperate to find a cure for his son, because that symbiote isn't keeping him alive. Other theories go with Kraven the Hunter, since there was a time where he put on a symbiote-like suit, even though that was cloth. This time around, yeah, it could be Kraven who becomes Venom. I just feel like that goes against his morals. He's all about, I can take you down with my own body. He would want the challenge to be both Spider-Man with his own body. At least that's my thinking on it. My wild theory on this is that they're just going to end up making Peter Parker Venom. I know it's a small chance that could happen, but just seeing the gameplay and how they were slowly making Peter more evil and rude, I feel like as the game progresses, the symbiote could eventually take full control of Peter, and it'll lead into a battle with Venom and Miles, where Miles will have to beat up his own mentor. I feel like that would be awesome gameplay and a good story. Whatever the case may be, very excited for it. I believe the release date for the game now is October 20th. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something on the channel when that game comes out. All right, but putting that little video game news aside now, let's talk about some other stuff here. We recently had the trailer released for Expendables 4, or as they want to put it in the title.
I don't want to. I've been actually wanting to react to that shit. So let's just get this shit.
For Expendables 4. Something else that happened earlier in the week I wanted to talk about here that just wasn't enough news to make a side flick is this story involving The Rock and Fast and Furious. Making it a little quick because it's kind of old news by now, is we got an article from The Wrap that let us know why The Rock kind of agreed to come back for Fast X. You guys know, if you're following my channel, The Rock made it very clear he never wanted to return to this franchise, but something changed his mind because he was the post-credit scene of Fast X. And now they're reporting here that Hobbs is gonna get his own solo movie that'll work as the bridge from Fast X to Fast X Part 2. This could maybe be what Vin Diesel was talking about a couple weeks back when he said Fast X will now become a 3-part movie. This Hobbs Solo movie might be included in that 3-part story. They were also very clear to say that this movie will not feel like Hobbs and Shaw 2, so I don't even know if Shaw will be included in this movie, or other characters that were introduced in their movie like Kevin Hart or Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, they are part of the Fast and Furious universe if you didn't know. But it's just funny to think this is what they had to do to convince Dwayne Johnson to come back. It's like, we'll give you your own movie, man. Just come on, man. Join the Familia. I'm gonna watch it because I do like Hobbs, but I like him as part of the team with all these other characters. I wasn't that big with Hobbs and Shaw, so I'll give it a shot and see how it goes. But throwing it off to you guys, are you excited for a solo Hobbs movie?
Yeah,
Another story that happened this week that I thought was interesting is Captain America 4 getting a title change. Thanks to a post by Anthony Mackie that gave us a behind-the-scenes look to Captain America 4, the previous title was Captain America New World Order, but on this post and on the chair, they have the title changed to Captain America Brave New World. Now, there's not an exact reason for why they might have changed the title of the movie. I just think the term New World Order had too much of a negative connotation for Disney. You can search up that conspiracy theory yourself, but it's the idea of one power being in control of everything and everyone, which I feel like would have made a lot of sense for what Captain America 4 was trying to do, but Brave New World sounds fine enough. I'm still very excited for the movie, and I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt, even though there's so many people going against this movie just because they don't believe in Sam Wilson as Captain America. But I'm rooting for you, man. Just like I'm rooting for that costume to look good in the movie, because right now I like the previous costume a little more. What do you guys think about the title change involved with Captain America 4? Moving on here, talking about some Ghostbusters. You guys know there is a sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife set to come out this year, December 20th, 2023. Very doubtful that I think they're going to meet that release date, but that's what we have right now. And with today also being Ghostbuster Day, it would make sense that we would get something new about the movie. We did get what appears to be the cast just wishing everybody a happy Ghostbuster Day. You'll notice Bill Murray is not included in this video, and I think that's just for real life reasons. You can Google that yourself. But the thing they literally just dropped like 5 minutes before I started recording is what might be our first little poster for the Ghostbuster sequel. What we're looking at here is the classic Ghostbusters emblem, but you'll notice it has a little chilly vibe to it, all iced out. We know the movie's going to be taking place back in New York at the classic firehouse. Could they be hinting at a snowy setting for the sequel? That would be awesome. Maybe the villain of this film has some sort of like icy touch to them. Then again, this might not even be related to the actual movie. Ghostbuster has so many things going on right now. They got comic books, they got a video game, they have an upcoming animated movie in the works. So it could be attached to any one of those things. But I'm looking to believe it's part of this sequel just because it fits that theme. I'm still hoping that maybe by the end of the day they reveal the official title, because we don't even know what it's called. We're still just calling it the Afterlife sequel. But I toss it off to you Ghostbuster fans. What do you speculate from this little image just giving us a look at the Ghostbuster poster? Moving on here to talk about some Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. We've had a couple of updates since the movie has been released. Now I'm going to do my best to not include any spoilers in case you haven't seen the movie yet, since it's still pretty early on. But just running off some of the newest things that we've heard about the upcoming movie is, for one, the creative team did confirm that Beyond the Spider-Verse will be the ending trilogy for Miles Morales, quoting that they are pretty tired. So really that could just mean if they ever make a 4th Spider-Verse movie, it could be with a different creative team, but I feel like that would be a huge mistake on Sony's part, and I'd actually just like it if they end it with 3 movies. These last 2 have been so great, and I can only feel Beyond is going to be just as amazing, so it's kind of nice to know they have an ending and closing chapter for Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse. There's also reports that Sony was working alongside Marvel in explaining the multiverse, and that's really interesting considering some of like the small MCU connections that you see in this movie. The other thing that has people wondering is, are they going to lean more into the live action side of things into the next movie? Because while there are a few sequences in Across the Spider-Verse that have live action moments, they're wondering, is that all we're going to get, or are we going to get more in the next one? And as much as I would love it to include like some very famous Spider people in the next movie, I feel like they might not actually do it, or at least not for a lot, because they did say this about Across the Spider-Verse. There were times when we had huge live action sequences in the film and it just turned into a bad joke. Even we didn't like it anymore, and we just said, okay, enough. Let's make sure that this is something precise that gets the most bang for the buck and speaks to the story. And I would agree with them, as much as their different styles look like, having a live action character right next to Miles and all the other super animated characters would really stick out like a sore thumb and would just look like me green screening myself into the movie. Maybe they found a way to make it work in between them commenting that and making Beyond the Spider-Verse, but I doubt it. But then there's another part of me that's like, that's what they're doing here though. They are pushing the boundary for what animated films can be, and if anyone's gonna find a way to make live action and animated stuff work, it's gonna be this team. Ending off with sort of the bad news of it right now is there could be a real possibility that Beyond the Spider-Verse gets delayed. Right now the movie is set to release March of next year, and cast members have already mentioned that they haven't even recorded one single line of dialogue for the new movie. Although they were making Across and Beyond the Spider-Verse simultaneously, I'm thinking they probably still have so much left to do. I would not be surprised if the movie moves to 2025. So that's just the updates we have right now for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I couldn't be more excited for the film. What do you guys take with some of these new details? Moving on here, talking about some Nintendo properties, we just got a report that is claiming that Universal and Illumination are nearing a deal so that they can make a Legend of Zelda movie. This really does not surprise me, especially with the success of the Super Mario movie, and with them mentioning Universal and Illumination, this pretty much confirms that it will be an animated film, which I think everyone agrees that's just the direction they should go with for a lot of these Nintendo movies. Unfortunately, we don't have any more details other than that, but there are a couple of things I want to mention off the top. For one, don't kill me here, I never played a Zelda game in my life, guys. What? Until 2 weeks ago. I never played any of the older Zelda games in my life, but my best friend that I've grown up with since middle school, he was very excited for the new Zelda game that just came out, and he was just hounding me every day to start playing Breath of the Wild on my Switch, saying I would love it, saying that it's a great game, and I didn't want to do it. I did it, and I freaking love this game. But the reason I bring this up, not so you can roast me and say, "L. Chris W. friend, don't you dare give him that hype," is because to me it's like a really night and day difference, Legend of Zelda and Mario in terms of tone. Zelda is like a very serious, grounded game.
That's
with
all
like
I got past.
Moments of humor. Illumination has only really done things that are very goofy, very funny, very exaggerated, which is great. It's worked out for them. I love the Super Mario movie. But if they're the ones that are going to be handling Legend of Zelda, I would hope that they're finally going to make some sort of shift, because I don't think fans would be that excited if Zelda turned into a comedy, if it became very goofy and had a lot of the same humor and tone of Super Mario. I also think it would definitely have to take inspiration from the latest two Zelda games. Just like the new Super Mario took a lot of inspiration from Odyssey, the latest Mario game, I think that's what we could actually be seeing done here. But again, that's just my opinion here. It's only a matter of time before we find out Tom Holland is voicing Link in these movies, or maybe they don't even have anyone voice Link because the man barely talks in his games. But for you more hardcore Zelda fans, now that I'm open to try more of the world, what games would you recommend, or what video games do you think would be a good source material to pull from to make the animated movie? But that is all Moon News we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time.
Not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to the Legends of Zelda movie. I'm looking forward to the third Spider-Verse movie, which I kind of hope they just ended at 3. And then Ghostbusters, it kind of looks like it's gonna be like in a Christmas theme, because based on like it's gonna be released in December, and also like the logo looked like it was iced out. I mean, that kind of gives you like, you know, a theory. And also New York, it kind of snows up there, right? I don't know. I don't live in New York, you know. But anyways, man, if you guys like my reaction to this, give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, motherfuckers.